Hello there, welcome to the Ogre, the old Git Reacts reviews and off-time reminisces. Welcome to the fourth and final instalment in my mini-series of bassy bollocks, songs that from my youth that featured a prominent bass. The previous three songs I've looked at have benefited to some extent from a bit of money in the production side of things. It's clear production, and they've obviously used experienced engineers and what have you. I'm not sure if that's the case with the Varukers. This is where punk rock was starting to evolve into its more hardcore, crusty anarcho side, and where there's always small labels in punk rock. There was a deliberate, I suppose, approach to not being too polished, which, when you compare this to the previous songs, will be more than immediately apparent. But that doesn't take away from the song. If a song's good, to a great extent, it doesn't matter how well produced it is. And I'm going to play you it now to prove my point. Let's go. So, what a great big wobbly intro that was. Very short, but gloriously wobbly. Somebody's slackened off his strings, bass strings, whilst he's not been looking, and to good effect. And then you get that glorious bass lick as the verse begins. A little bit frantic, a little bit hands about to fly off the fretboard, but glorious nonetheless. That's when you're full of bullshit. When I want to die dead. When I got you. No. The song's nearly over before it even starts, so I don't want to interrupt it too much, but you know me. All of the aspects of this music are somewhat indistinct. The guitar is way back and virtually indistinguishable from the fizz behind it, and the drums similarly. So even though the bass is a little bit indistinct as well, it still is to the front and sort of more obvious, shall we say, than the other parts of the instrumentation, and so although it's a muffled punch, it still punches to the fore of everything else. And as I say, as a lover of Merc, I can't fault it. Don't understand my mistakes. Die by the human race. Die by society. Die by you and me. Will I get you? No, get you. Well, there you go. Short and to the point, and that's one of the good things about those sort of punk songs is that if you're delivering a message, don't bore people with saying it too much. People aren't stupid. Say it so it sinks in, and then move on to your next message. I suppose bands like the Varukers I have to blame for me liking murky black metal and murky metal in general, rather than the shiny stuff. When punk was, I've said before that I grew up with punk as my favourite genre, and whereas some people followed the shiny stuff into new genres, I stayed with punk as it morphed into something more murky and more distilled in many ways. So thanks the Varukers for the direction on which you sent me, amongst others. And thanks for a bass hook that I've never forgotten. Glorious, as I keep saying. Straight to vein, never to be forgotten. Super. Anyway, click your bollocks if you want. Catch you all next time. Cheerio.